Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I am an English teacher from Morocco and I teach in English in Turkey. And today I want to share with you my very personal story about my experience working as an English teacher here in Turkey. First of all, when I first arrived to Turkey, I was expecting students to be happy about learning a new language and like for example I am from Morocco, and Morocco is an African country. And those African peoples are more interested in learning new languages. If you notice, people from Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, they are more interested in learning a new language. Like they speak French, they speak English, sometimes some people speak German, some people speak Russian. So people are very interested in learning something new, something languages of technology. But when I came here, I was really surprised about the student here. They don't pay attention to English and they consider it as an extra course. They don't pay attention to it, and they consider the teachers as someone who will play just with them and end up the session and goodbye, you go to home. There is no assessment, no exercise, no activities. Mm-mm. And when I came to school, it was very challenging for me at the beginning because I couldn't communicate with them in Turkish and they were just neglecting me. And when I dig into the root cause of the thing, I found out that the problem is from the parents, from the management team, and from everyone here in this country. It feels like not accepting a foreign language is in their culture. For example, if you go to in touristic areas and you speak English, sometimes you can find people who will understand you and will speak to you your language maybe. uh, you will speak English, but in a lot of places, in 99% of the places, they expect you to speak their local language, which is Turkish. When, for example, you go to a shop or maybe, I don't know, a market, you speak in English, they just like neglect you. For example, you address it in a honest and kind way that you are a tourist here, you're not a local, and you don't understand the language, and you address it properly. Please, could you help me? For example, find this product. How can I get a SIM card? How can I do this? They just like, mm, we don't speak your language. That means we couldn't help you. Unlike, for example, other countries, like for example in my homeland, people, even if they don't speak French or English, they try to communicate the maximum. The maximum of vocabulary they will use it in this instance. For example, if you go to the shopping store or do groceries, most of people who sell, for example, veggies and fruits, they are not educated people, but they are smart. For example, they can communicate with you in their foreign, in your language. They can, for example, combine some words here and there in order to help you. This is unlike here in Turkey. I have faced a lot of challenges, especially in school. So the principal of the school, he hired me because I speak English and I don't speak Turkish. This is was said from the beginning. He told me that you speak only English, which helps a lot to improve my students and to help them progress and a lot of things. But when I came here in the first month, in the very first beginning, they didn't introduce me to students as I am a foreign language. I am a foreign teacher who will teach them English and proper English without using their mother language. But students, they were not engaging, they were not taking any progress, they were not paying attention in class, they were not respecting me, they were not doing anything. Even the exercises, they just like take them as where we not do it as English is just an extra material. And Among these things, um, this this matter has evaluated and improved by time, but in a negative way, not in a positive way. So one of the days I was with another teacher in the classroom, we were foreigners, and one of the students just like tried to disrupt me each time he slept in class, and he tries to tease me as maximum as he could. So I was like angry, but I didn't show that anger. I stepped calmly and professionally and addressed the student properly and individually. The student didn't want to participate, didn't want to show interest. For example, the moment I step or I turn around, he talk, he make like funny jokes, he come chit chat, he uses his phone, a lot of things. And in that session, the student stood out of nowhere and he said, "Why don't you bring Turkish students? Why Turkish teachers? Why do you bringing foreigners who are stupid and you don't speak Turkish?" I was like shocked. My level was A1 in Turkish. I didn't speak any Turkish. I had just the basics. And the students were like, "Don't do it, please, don't do it. We are in the classroom and we are going to tell the teachers what you are saying." And when I asked the student to translate it for me, because to know if there is any misunderstanding, one of the students told me that the student is trying to say that you are idiots, you don't understand Turkish, we can deal with here, and why they are not bringing Turkish teachers. So I addressed the matter calmly and I reported immediately to the management team. They spoke to the student and they they order him to apologize to me. And at that moment, he apologized and everything goes smooth. But after time, from time to time, matter improves. For some certain reasons, the children just like, they forgive me this time, they are going to forgive me next time. And this is totally not correct to treat teachers with such matter. And after weeks, the management team called me for a meeting and they told me that the student's behavior is your fault and it's not their fault. It's the way you teaching them is incorrect and they are not respecting you because you don't show respect in the classroom. I told them like I have done nothing wrong but teaching them. I have done my job. I came early every week, every day. I have organized a lot of activities, and this is this is what I got. And they told me like we want students to be more engaging in the classroom and this and that. I told them like, would you help me please, because these students are hard for me. They are hard to handle, really. It's not like, for example, students in North Africa. As a North African teacher, I am from Morocco, as I told you, but the behavior of the student is totally different. We use to obey our teachers and respect them. The moment the teachers step in the classroom, we just like make instant silence. We don't argue. If we don't understand, we ask the teacher properly. We don't make noise or bring our parents or something like that. But the management team or the headmaster was treating the school as a business site, not um, as an environment where students can grow professionally and they can behave good in a good way. But they tell me like I am the problem of not teaching them. I am the problem because they didn't understand. I am the problem, and they start like pushing me and saying bad things about me. And the headmaster was really angry. He called me to his office. I didn't understand him, and he didn't even speak English to me. He speaks only Turkish. And how am I expected to understand someone like that? First of all, when I came here, the day of the interview was done by him and an English teacher. He was just listening during the interview. He was not asking me. The teacher who was asking. And when I finished the interview, it was positive because of my accents and my attitude in the interview. He didn't, for example, set rules from the beginning. He didn't tell me, for example, you're going to teach people who are not interested in English, even though I had students who are autistic, who have autism, and people from Down syndrome. Down syndrome and autistic kids, they are not supposed to be with normal people. I'm not saying this because they should be neglected, but no, they should be treated uh, in a special manner. They should have, for example, have teachers who are trained or meant to be for them. For example, for me, I didn't know some students have autism until I asked them, for example, why they are acting like this, why they are not engaging, why they are doing this, why they are getting angry very quickly, and the moment, and at that moment they told me and they informed me about them. I was like, why didn't you tell me that from the beginning so that I would be prepared? Because, for example, people from Down syndrome, I had one girl from the first grade. She was very sweet, but at some certain points in the afternoon, especially, she gets very active. She run in the classroom. She don't obey the teacher, and she starts shouting and yelling. I don't know why. And I tried to address the psychologist of the school since this is her job. I told her, for example, can you make any engaging activities because this child is very very messy. She misbehaved, especially in the afternoon. I don't know if she takes some pills or not. All the things that she told me that her parents did not inform us at the beginning. Like seeing someone from Down syndrome, you can know it from the very beginning. You don't have someone to tell you about him. Unlike autism, it's for me. Sometimes you can know it. Sometimes you cannot discover that this person is suffering from autism, especially in the very early ages, like first grade, second grade, third grade. And that's it. They were blaming me over these students, and the parents were complaining about me because I don't speak Turkish. I told them like they hire me to speak only to English, not Turkish, and you are blaming me now for not teaching them in an appropriate way. Especially the students were meant to meet someone who speaks only Turkish and teach them English through using Turkish and 100% Turkish because the previous teachers were this is their methodology, this is their strategy. I was the first teacher who is foreigner in the school, and they didn't expect someone to speak only English. I really understand that because you get used to someone who speaks your local language to teach you a foreign language, but this is totally wrong. This is not correct, and this is not good for teaching because you're going to end up in your comfort zone. You need always someone to speak to you in your local language in order to understand the exercise. And this is for me. I will make part 2 about this video. And if you feel if you have the same experience, or if you if you have the same experience, or you are abroad teaching and feeling some challenges, please share them in the comments below so that we can learn from each other.